I'm in the Del Mar College Harvard Student Center. Sometimes students experience situations that may impede their academic success. Retention Services is here to help with difficulties balancing life's priorities with the demands of attending college. Another way to assist you in your academic goals at Del Mar Now. I'm Amy Mintz, an Associate Professor of Child Development Early Childhood at Del Mar College. Lead counselor in the Del Mar College Counseling Services is here. Rita Hernandez will explain what services they offer in the center. Danielle Newman is also with us. She's a retention case manager with the Del Mar College Retention Services. Of course, we also have a newscast presented by students in the radio and television program. We've got some very useful information coming your way. This is Del Mar Now. Our first guest is the lead counselor in the Del Mar College Counseling Center. She came to work at Del Mar College in 2011. She started her education at Del Mar College and went on to earn her Bachelor's of Arts in Sociology and a Master's of Arts in Counseling Psychology from Texas A&M International University. Please welcome to Del Mar Now, Rita Hernandez. Hi, Rita. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
As a lead counselor in the Counseling Center, can you explain a little bit about the mission, or what is the purpose? How does this help students?
Yeah, so our mission is to promote mental health, emotional resilience, and just overall wellness upon the campus community.
Okay, so mental health and wellness, that sounds like a lot of different services can fall into that category. Can you give me some examples of services that you offer?
Sure. So we offer brief collaborative therapy, which means that both client and counselor will work together towards a common goal. So that might be to decrease symptoms of anxiety or depression, things like that. And we do that on an individual basis. We also do that for couples. For couples, only one individual in the relationship needs to be a student.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and then we also do group counseling, and so we'll screen students who are dealing with very similar concerns or issues, and we'll pair them to group them together and do group sessions. We also do consultations with faculty and staff if they have a concern for a student in their courses or that they work with, and so those are also confidential, and so we'll help them with next steps if they're really concerned about a student and figure out how to make the referral to the counseling center.
Okay, and it sounds like, though, some of these issues are probably not resolved in one session, so students can utilize this service many times?
Yes, definitely. So we're, like I said, brief collaborative therapy. So brief therapy is anywhere from 6 to 8 sessions, and so we typically will meet with students for about an hour each session.
Okay.
And so depending on what the goals are, we do have a session limit of 10 sessions, but that's flexible too. So we'll definitely keep working with the student if they need a little bit more than 10 sessions. So.
Okay. So what do you mean by SSS at your center?
Yes, so we are a student support service, so SSS, Student Support Service. And just like students get support academically through tutoring or social support through campus life or student activities, we provide the personal support. So all of the things that may or may not have anything to do with their academics, so we provide that support service to them.
So if I'm suffering from some sort of mental ailment that's not even really a result of something happening at Del Mar College, but maybe in my private life, my home life,
absolutely,
then
yes.
I can still utilize these services as a Del Mar student
yes,
or
ma'am,
employee.
as a Del Mar student.
So does the Counseling Center offer any workshops or training for student groups? Maybe we've got conflict amongst, if we have to do a team project and we've got to work together collaboratively on this project and we're just not having it.
Yes, yeah, so part of our group program, we'll either do a workshop or sometimes we'll just bring groups together. So that might be like conflict resolution or effective communication. And we also do with some of our student organizations, we'll do suicide prevention training. And so, our students are our eyes and our ears on campus, and they know when their friends might be struggling. And so we'll do things like how to help a friend or just suicide prevention. So really any group that reaches out to us, and whether you're a group, a team in a class working on a project, or you're an organization as part of student leadership, then we'd be happy to work with you.
All right. When you mentioned that our students are our eyes and ears on campus, But think of how that bridges that fine line of confidentiality.
Right.
So how does the center approach confidential information? What is shared? What is not shared? What's on file? What's not on file?
Okay, good question. So we operate with a independent records management system, and so the only folks that have access to any records that we keep in the counseling center are the counselors. So students won't have to be concerned about anything showing up on a transcript or through WebDMC. We don't connect through DataTel at all, which is our academic records management system, and we are bound by confidentiality as licensed professional counselors through the state. And so just like any private practice counselor would abide by confidentiality, so we are take every effort to be able to maintain confidentiality. There are some limits, and we explain those to students, but completely separate from academic records.
So students don't have to have this fear that my professor is going to know what we're talking about in this meeting.
Right, absolutely. And we will never be able to confirm or deny that you've ever come in to receive services. So sometimes, faculty are concerned, and they want to make sure that you made it over. And so if they call us, we won't confirm or deny. We'll just recommend that they ask the student that they're concerned about. So, hey, ask the student how they're doing, and they'll tell you. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you tell us about any challenges you've encountered while counseling a student?
Yeah. So occasionally students are struggling with suicidal ideation, and that can be a real challenge. And so our counselors are exceptionally trained in stabilizing and getting students connected with resources. And so majority of the students that come in with any suicidal ideation, we have been able to stabilize, but we also connect with local agencies to be able to transport students who might need further treatment. But students come in with a variety of issues or things that they might be dealing with in their life. So depression, anxiety, family relational problems, partner relational problems, sometimes trauma, whether recent trauma or past trauma, and our counselors are trained in treating trauma, so it's really a really great asset to have on our campus. Other things, sometimes it's just as simple as just adjusting to college life.
True.
And many of our students come directly from high school, and that's different. Many of our students are returning from being in the workforce for a while, and so that can be a transition. So wherever anyone is, the counseling center is a safe place for them to work through that.
And for sure, at least get started, and as you mentioned, if need to, continue on some care with other external agencies. So, I can imagine some of the students who might come in with some of the more severe or traumatizing issues, domestic violence, abuse, substance abuse, or dealing with family members with those. It sounds like other help might be needed to continue the mental health and this longevity. Right,
and so we take what we call a wraparound approach, and what we do is we connect our students to whether it's the Purple Door, which we used to be the Women's Shelter, or other community agencies and resources, just depending on their needs. And we keep really great contacts with our local entities to be able to have a continuum of care and still be able to treat some of the symptoms that they're dealing with in session.
Well, where can people get more information about the counseling centers? Walk in, or do they need to make an appointment? Should they call ahead of time? What's the best method?
So whatever their needs are. So if they feel like they need to see somebody immediately, by all means, walk in, and we will make sure that someone is available to students. We do work by appointments, and so after that initial urgent meeting, we'll be able to schedule folks on a recurring basis. But they can learn more about our center by going to our website. It's delmar.edu/counsel. But we're also on social media. So we're on Facebook at DMC Counseling, and it's DMC Counseling for Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing this great information with us.
Thank you for having me.
We're taking a break, but students in the radio and television program are next with the Del Mar Now update. After that, we'll meet the Del Mar College Retention Case Manager. So stay with us.
What does it take to get ahead of the pack? To find your way, leave your mark. Dual credit courses at Del Mar College put high school students on the fast track to success, earning college credits at affordable prices. What does it take to go from college prep to taking that first step? It takes a Viking. Jumpstart your college education at delmar.edu/dual credit.
Pull to the right. Motorists who fail to pull to the right make roads difficult for emergency vehicles to get through and possibly on to save lives and property. Remember, if you see an emergency vehicle approaching, the correct thing to do is remain calm and safely pull to the right.
Are you a former military service member looking to start a new career? If so, Del Mar College can help you enter the trucking industry at little or no cost to you. A grant from the Texas Workforce Commission pays the tuition for former service members to earn a Class A commercial driver's license at Del Mar College. Truck driver training takes just 4 weeks of daytime classes or 10 weeks of evening classes. To learn more about the Skills for Transition program, contact Del Mar College's Veteran Services Office at 361-698-1683 or email egoodrow@delmar.edu.
Welcome to this edition of Del Mar Now Update. I'm Cecily Inslee.
And I'm Ashley Sargent.
Registration for summer semesters and the fall semester has begun at Del Mar College. Valdar the Viking has been doing his part in encouraging students to register early. The college's mascot has appeared at several rallies on Del Mar's east and west campuses. During the rallies, participants have been able to learn more about admissions, financial aid, and student resources at Del Mar. On-site admissions and assistance with completing documentation has also been available to students. Registration will be ongoing until mid-August. Classes for Summer Session 1 starts May 29th, Summer Session 2 begins July 9th, and the fall semester begins August 27th. A $500,000 grant will allow a local hospital system to train employees to meet its growth. Christus Spohn Health System plans to add 500 registered nurses to address its growth. A grant of $500,000 from the Texas Workforce Commission Skills Development Fund and the Del Mar College Corporate Services will help meet the need. Christus Spohn has a targeted training program for 531 emergency room technicians, vocational nurses, RNs, nurse leaders, and RN coordinators. The grant was awarded to Christus Spohn on April 11th. Del Mar's Corporate Services will help Christus Spohn implement its Pathways to Excellence program. The goal is to have nurses work at their highest level of licensure. As an example, an RN with an associate's degree of nursing will spend time assessing patient needs, monitoring systems, along with recommending care plans. The Corporate Services training will continue through November of this year.
The week of April 29th to May 5th marks the National Business Week. This is the 55th annual celebration. Del Mar College's Small Business Development Center is marking the week by honoring several individuals. A recognition ceremony titled Entrepreneur Night and Small Business Awards highlights the week. Several partners with the Small Business Development Center are involved to inform small business owners and other entrepreneurial-minded individuals of resources available. Awards are being given included San Marin Laundry Company as the Corpus Christi Branch Office Small Business of the Year, James Jones from Del Mar College Small Business Development as Advisor of the Year, Robert Cantwell from SCORE as the Mentor of the Year. For more information about the Small Business Development Center, go online to www.delmar.edu/SBDC. A multimedia presentation at Del Mar College highlighted what is termed climate change. Combining music, art, science, and photographs made up a performance in Richardson Performance Hall on April 24th. Climate physicist Robert Davies and the Fry Street Quartet collaborated in the presentation. The Crosswords Project, as a collaboration is titled, combines lecture and music. Davies says that the 75% of the world's fisheries are in some state of collapse. The 75-minute project includes music by Haydn, Laura Kaminsky, and Janacek. The large screen projections include art by Rebecca Allen and photographs by Garth Lenz. More information is available at www.thecrossroadsproject.org.
Emotional episodes in the lives of young children may cause a great amount of anxiety. The situation may be a house fire, a tornado, or even a hurricane. The American Red Cross provides some emotional relief by giving children stuffed animals. Del Mar College early childhood majors donated 580 soft stuffed toys to the Coastal Bend, Texas chapter of the Red Cross in early April. This was the 9th annual teddy bear drive for the students. Associate Professor of Child Development Benita Flores Munoz says this year's drive was all the more meaningful for students with Hurricane Harvey's destructive path last year.
A family-friendly event was held on the campus of Del Mar College to raise awareness of STEM careers. The student chapters of the Society for Advancement of Chicanos, Hispanics, and Native Americans in Science, along with Texas A&M University, sponsored the event. Science Saturday featured science demos, booths, and displays with hands-on activities. There were also tours of Del Mar facilities and a chance to visit with local scientists. The event was designed to expose Coastal Bend youth to consider careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Both educational institutions encourage students to attain advanced degrees, careers, and positions of leadership in STEM.
That has been this edition of Del Mar Now Update. I'm Cecily Ensley.
And I'm Ashley Sargent. Stay tuned for more Del Mar Now.
Attention Coastal Bend military veterans. If you're thinking about pursuing a college education or resuming your studies and you don't feel like you're college ready, Del Mar College may be able to help. Through a grant from the U.S. Department of Education, we've launched the Veterans Upward Bound program to help veterans just like you navigate the process of going back to school. All services are free to qualifying veterans. For more information, call the Veterans Upward Bound program at 361-698-2643 or go to our Facebook page at Del Mar College Veterans Upward Bound.
What does it take to go from entry level to management material, or from the day-to-day to paving your own way? What does it take to go from how will I ever get there to look how far I've come? It takes a Viking. Advance your career and continue your education at Del Mar College. Dreams delivered.
For more information about Del Mar Now, log on to www.delmar.edu/now. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions to help us improve Del Mar Now, send an email to now@delmar.edu.
Our next guest is a retention case manager at Del Mar College. She's been with the college since 2014. She holds a Bachelor's of Art degree from University of Minnesota Twin Cities and a Master's of Social Work degree from the University of Missouri. Please welcome to the show, Danielle Newman. Hi, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so retention services, and it does sound a little scary. Tell us about the goals of a retention case manager in your offices.
The goal of retention services ultimately is to help students be successful while they're here at Del Mar College. And so we help them stay at Del Mar College because a lot of things happen in our personal lives. Like our academic lives are so much more than just what's going on in the classroom. There's a lot going on outside the classroom. And so in addition to helping students be successful in class, we try to help with non-academic things that might be challenging them and making it difficult for them to stay in school. So to try to give them every opportunity they can to finish their degree with us.
Okay, well, can you give me some examples about what a retention case manager would do? Like what resources or what avenues would they go down to help these students be successful?
Well, the easiest way to explain is probably to tell you how we approach working with our students in our general programs. We have the Retention Alert program, which is for faculty mainly to refer students to us who they notice are struggling. Because our students spend most of their time on campus in the classroom, hopefully, right? And so their faculty have a really up-close look at what's going on. So if the student is missing work or they're not going to class, the faculty member is probably the first one to notice that something might be wrong. And a lot of times students open up to their professors and they tell them things that are going on. And so if a faculty member has those concerns, they can let our office know, and we will reach out to the student to try to see, okay, what's going on? What can we help you with?
Right.
How can we support you? What type of follow-up do you need? What type of information do you need? The majority of our students, though, are with the academic recovery program. And so these students are on academic probation or suspension. Their GPA is below a 2.0.
That
and
happens.
So it does. And so we work with them to help them get back into good standing. And so that's the majority of the students that we work with. And then the rest are referred to our office by financial aid, or they self-refer when they have questions or concerns. How do I do this? Where do I go for that? I'm confused, because navigating a college campus is definitely not common sense.
True, true. You know, it seems like there might be a select number of students also who are struggling maybe in school, but they don't know why, and they don't know how to fix it. And so is this where your offices would come into play also, kind of maybe take a closer examination of, let's look at what's going on and why you're not being so successful?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep, we do that every day.
And I think that would be, you know, a big eye-opener for a lot of students who just like, oh, I didn't realize that was an issue, or I never really thought about juggling so many things at the same time and it being an issue.
Yeah, I think a lot of our students don't know what to expect when they start college.
Right.
And it's usually a lot harder than they expect it to be, you know, and they think that maybe I'm the only one going through this, and they're not. I think every student at some point in their college career feels like they're underprepared, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're not ready to be here. And the reality is, no, you're ready to be here. You just need some more information. You need some support, ask questions, get some help. There's lots of people on campus who can do that. And it's not just me in my office. There's so many offices and staff and faculty who do great things for our students. And so we also help connect our students with those people.
So what students can take advantage of the retention services? Is it not just the failing students then?
Correct, not just the failing students. Anyone is welcome to come into our office. We definitely welcome all of them. And then students who are planning to enroll, we do have a lot of students who aren't yet enrolled at Del Mar College, but if they are coming to us from another institution and they're on academic suspension at that institution, we start them off on suspension here, so they get that interaction with us, their advisor, the dean, to get the support and the information they need to do well. So a lot of our students aren't quite enrolled yet, but they're planning to enroll. And so we're here for those individuals as well.
Okay. So imagine I'm a student who's signed up or been referred to your offices. What would be the first thing that's going to happen, or what are the first things that I need to do as a student when I go into your office?
Well, be open with us and let us know what's going on. I think the more a student is willing to tell us about what's going on outside the classroom as well as inside the classroom, the more we can do for that particular student, you know. So if a student is maybe they're homeless or they can't feed their kids, you know, like I'm not going to talk to them about, well, how are you doing in math class? Like that's not necessarily going to be the best way to start. We're going to talk about, okay, what do you need? What are your major needs first? Try to connect those students with those types of resources.
Even if they're non-academic needs?
Correct, correct. If we can't help directly at Del Mar College, we try to find other resources in the community that can help that student.
And that's very important for students to know, to realize it's not just limited to this aspect or this avenue of your life.
Right. There's lots going on in Corpus Christi. There's lots of, you know, people and organizations that can help, and navigating that and figuring out what's out there can be overwhelming. So there's no reason for a student to do that all by themselves.
True.
You know, we can give them some assistance with that.
About how many students are utilizing your services at a given time?
This past semester we had about 500 students come in for academic probation or academic suspension, and then we had almost 300 in the retention alert program, so those are the students that faculty are referring to us. So we see quite a few students.
So it seems like then
semester.
nothing is unheard of now by this point. So
Right,
students
right.
come in with problems like, okay, I've dealt with this. I know how to deal with this
Right,
now.
and if we don't know how to deal with it, we try to figure out how to deal with it. You know, I mean, there's always going to be a case that maybe we can't resolve or we might not be able to help, but we're really going to try to see if we can.
If you could give an incoming Del Mar College student a bit of advice to help them succeed, what would it be?
I'd say keep in mind that college is probably going to be a little bit harder than you think it's going to be, and sometimes a lot harder than you think it's going to be, but don't give up. Ask for help. You're not the only one going through that. You know, I think in our culture, we don't like to talk about our feelings that much. You know, if I say, how are you today? You're going to say, oh, I'm fine. Things are good. And the reality is sometimes we're not fine, but we're going to say that we're fine. And so know that if you're not fine, you're not the only one who's not fine, and that's why we have resources and support available on campus. And so I tell students to use what's available. There's so much here, and I think the average student, not just at Del Mar College, but on any college campus, doesn't use all the resources that are available to
That's
them.
true.
So my advice would be, don't be one of those students. Actually ask questions, use the resources that are there, and then try to connect with 2 to 3 staff members or faculty members on campus, people that you can get to know. So if you do have questions, you're lost, you're stuck, you do have a friendly face who knows you that you can come and visit with.
So if a student wanted to just pop in their office, I'm not doing well in school, can I help? Can you help me? Would that be the best way to reach your offices, or would you prefer an appointment? What's the best method?
It's a little bit easier if we have an appointment first, but if we're not currently seeing a student, we don't have anything else that we're doing, we're definitely going to see that student if they pop in and ask for help. But the best thing to do is to call ahead.
Okay.
You can call our main line at 698-1948, make an appointment with us.
Okay.
Students who have an appointment, we tend to make them priority, but again, if a student does want to walk in, they can walk in and we'll do the best that we can.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing this great information with us.
Thanks for having me.
If you have questions or comments about Del Mar Now, please send an email to now@delmar.edu. We will return in June with an all-new show. Until then, I am Amy Mintz for Del Mar Now. Thanks for watching.